What's going on, guys? Just wanted to cover Bitcoin with you all, just to kind of get some resolution in regards to what's currently happening in regards to price action. Okay, I'm going to get started with it. Alrighty, so what has happened over the past 24 hours? Okay, so yeah, topside support hasn't even been tested up here. The heart line actually is acting as resistance once again. Now, this is kind of like a pivot point. There was sort of like a fake out to the upside, found true resistance at the top near the candle wicks over here. Uh, but yeah, at the end of the day, this horizontal at 21.9, 21.7 is still acting as pretty strong resistance. Now, we're getting a bullish, I'm sorry, we are getting a bearish engulfing candle at this current time. We had the last hourly candle backtest the 100 EMA as resistance. Also, if you notice, my exponential moving averages on the hourly have finally turned red. So usually when that happens, that's from my perspective, there's confirmation. It's a confirmation that, yeah, things are about to get a little bit more negative, if you will. Obviously, I've been pretty transparent in regards to my bearish theory for the past 2-3 days now. But yeah, unfortunately, my triggers came on the weekend, so I wasn't able to like fully take advantage of this shorting opportunity. Like I said before, I've seen some God candles, bullish and bearish, happen on the weekend to where like I just don't, I'd rather not be out of it. And it's like completely contrary to what the charts or the indicator is trying to say. So, yeah, it's not really conducive to participate in situations like that because it just gets really, really crazy. Um, so I did take a quote unquote fake short, and at this time I'd be in profit like 4.3%, right? But I'm pretty confident in regards to my skills at this time. But like at the same time, like you have to be, patient, humble, and objective regarding your situations. And I do have kind of this rule where I don't like to trade during the weekends. So yeah, like everything that I was kind of looking forward to did set up, but it happened during, this particular time. But don't worry, crypto markets are. Guess I'm just saying this to myself, right? Crypto markets are like 24/7. The market will always be there for you, so it's not something to completely worry about. So I'm going to update this particular chart here. I did not have this Fibonacci extension last time. We had kind of reviewed this stuff, so yeah, kind of look like this. But yeah, from the wick top to the bottom right here, uh, I did that Fibonacci extension. There it is. Put it back online. Okay, and as you can see, price is at, let me change this to like a yellow color so it's just more visible to the eyes. So yeah, we usually bounces happen at the 618 and the 0.382. So we did have kind of like some form of dead cat bounce at this time. Price went all the way up here and back tested it as resistance, but now we're bearish engulfing. This bearish engulfing candle is pretty hardcore. So unless you see an hourly candle just completely nullify this move, what does that look like? To nullify a bearish engulfing candle, the next candle has to like wait, there you go. The next candle has to completely just, outpace the action that it done prior. So it is a pretty thick red candle that's the bulls are going up against. So the highly likelihood that's not going to go down, in my humble opinion. Also, if you look at the 21 EMA, the 21 EMA is crossing below the 100. That's another bearish sign. Yeah, that doesn't bode well. So yeah, I usually go from the daily to the hourly, but yeah, I'm gonna go a little bit it's the weekend, so really it's more intraday stuff that really matters at this point. So, um, This particular trend line right here, I'm actually going to delete it because there's only really there's three touch points, but there's just not enough data. It's not as mature as this, what I'm about to show you at this time. So I'm going to delete that. Uh, Now, regarding the previous pattern, uh, so you can do a measured move from the top of the triangle, which would be like right around here, and to the bottom of the triangle. Let me turn off the extension here on the line and do a measured move like this. And it broke out right here. So guess what? Guess where price went? So that to me indicates that we were actually experiencing a triangle pattern. Now, instead of it going all the way here, it was actually this white line. So let me take off this extension. Because as it stands, that pattern completion looks pretty legit. Now, this line right here actually did act as kind of like a line in the sand, I like to call it, where there was bounce attempts, as you noticed, multiple candles, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. You know, there was 11 hours of just complete stagnation where bulls were trying to, halt the price and stuff like that. But unfortunately, for their case, the bears just, you know what, they're like, nope, gonna just double down on my short positions and go about it to where we're just gonna dump the price uh, another 3%, shall we? And it looks like it's going to continue, in my opinion. So, as far as I'm concerned, uh, I'm just gonna move this line to where it's mostly just a triangle pattern, and I'm just gonna consider this price action right here at this current time just a weekend fake out price action right here. So essentially, what can be done here is a couple of things. Um, Let me see. Just for now, just for humor's sake, because now that it's back tested as resistance once again, I'm gonna thicken this line, um, and just move it. Oh crap! There, and yeah, it's kind of tough. Maybe like right here. Now I'm kind of just okay. Now I'm just kind of like playing around. Sorry about that. Okay. Um, what I really wanted to show you guys was this new kind of pattern or line pattern, if you will. Yeah, that's kind of something I'm keeping my eye on. There was some form of respect, if you will, because there was multiple touch points, more than the top side one right here. Actually, now this is just confusing. Okay, I'm just gonna turn it back to a dotted line. Okay, so we had this triangle pattern breakout. We had the measured move, which goes to the 618. Okay, now I'm gonna delete this line. Okay, so now you understand it's a pattern. Completion. Now, uh, momentum is heading to the downside still. So it's not necessarily pretty what's going on, by no means. But there was this line of support currently getting tested. Will it continue to get tested? Well, that's to be determined. But also, you do kind of have this like channel kind of going down here. Yeah, you kind of have something like this kind of playing out instead of this line. Maybe that'll help out visually. You do have a downward sloping channel playing out at this time. So that's kind of intriguing. Obviously could get nullified. I like to use the 1 hourlies, the 1 hourly candles, because usually this stuff is like respected for the most part regarding stuff like this. But at the end of the day, downward sloping channels like this, if validated, are pretty bullish long term. Now you could have this play out for days, right? At the current juncture in time, throughout the entirety. I mean, this thing could go on for a week, past a week, right? If it's respected. So, that's kind of interesting. Not necessarily valid at this time. The top side is obviously been um, a topic of discussion for the past couple days. The bottom is becoming a little bit more clear, but so far this triangle pattern was actually a thing. Um, Now this that quote unquote, I called it a bear triangle. To this day I still don't know what it's called. I'll figure it out later, but um, yeah, that I wouldn't necessarily was valid because of how quick it broke out. Because if that triangle did actually play out, usually these patterns they complete within 70% of the pattern, which would have been more so out here. But at the end of the day, the measured move would have been the exact same, just as this triangle. Really, the point to really keep your eye on was this line of support at 21.25, um, which did end up giving out at the end of the night. Uh, but anywho, yeah, at this time, looking at this downward sloping channel, uh, also, let me go with the indicators now. The TSI here is actually curling down. And this is what I'm talking about here, because like if you were trading the weekend and you saw this like signal, it's like, oh yeah, sweet, the TSI is curling up. It's turning colors, it's turning blue. And then look what's happened right next. That's what we call a bull trap. That's just straight up bull trap right here. Yep. Obviously, like there's other indicators, and that's why you should always have a suite of multiple indicators because one thing could be saying one thing, another could be saying another. So it's best to really just, make sure you're covering all stops at this time. So the 1 hour money flow is thick in the red. There was a buy signal, but the volume weighted average price has already made its move and it's already curling back down. So how this indicator works is the VWAP, when it crosses the 0 line, it'll print a red or green dot. So when a confirmation across happens, that's how this kind of works together. So you have the green dots, you got the red dots. When the VWAP crosses down, you get a red dot. When the VWAP crosses up, you get a green dot, vice versa. Now there is a range at this time. Not gonna lie, I like that it's crossed above the negative 60. This is actually a pretty safe zone in regards to kind of catching like dead cat bounces or scalp longs and stuff like that. But just how intense the money flow is at this time, I do think ultimately there's going to be, oh excuse me, there's going to be more moves to the downside in my opinion. So what I'm actually looking for is the momentum waves, not necessarily the money flow. I want to see the momentum kind of go back up and then wait for a red dot, and then I would consider opening a short. Now that's just my logic. Now keep in mind it's still the weekend. I don't trade weekends, but that's just kind of like if this happened like on a Monday or Tuesday, or Wednesday or Thursday or Friday, then yeah, that's what I would be doing. Um, yeah, so from my perspective, I do think that this line of support will hold and it'll kind of create some form of consolidation under this heart line. And, it'll kind of like do this and then pop. That's what I think. Now, um, this heart line has been respected as kind of like a battle zone where, like, okay, if you're bias bullish, bias bearish, this is where you are going to try to manipulate the chart to go to. But I think the bearish move in my perspective has kind of gone on, to where, yeah, there could be some consolidation for a couple of hours. Now, let me see here. Let me go to the other indicators and see what they're showing at this time. Interesting. Actually, let me show you this. It's not ideal. I'll be honest with you. It's really not ideal what I'm looking at, but um, there is some form of bullish divergence here. Okay. Um, then you have, sloping upward momentum, but price is contrary to that, right? That is actually divergence. So, is this move played out? To be determined. We did have multiple buy signals here, but the momentum, the red line, the slow moving average momentum, has yet to really print a higher low at this time. And as you can see, momentum is really pushing stuff to the downside. So these buy signals on the 1 hour are just irrelevant at this point. Also, the RSI, which is really an indicator you should be paying attention to if you're doing scalps or like swings, because it's just a faster moving average. Cross below the slow moving average at this time. Now we are in the bearish control zone, so essentially bear moves are just going to be more intense and more profitable than bull moves at this time. Now the TMA. And I talked about this where I was like, yeah, because the TMA essentially validated the slow moving average as resistance, we are more likely to test this zone versus this zone. And guess what happened, y'all? Guess what happened? We're testing this zone. Okay. Now, because it's in this zone doesn't mean that we're necessarily at a local bottom. This is the 1 hour, so it can go lower than you expect. Okay, and really what I'm looking for is more a confirmed bullish divergence label as low as the 1 hour time frame. We just don't have that yet. So I can't really feel confident in regards to opening up scalp longs or anything like that. So it's one of those like catching a falling knife kind of things. So it's just yeah, it's something you don't want to really get yourself caught up in at this time. But yeah, so the MACD is showing some divergence. Now, there's just not enough space, in my opinion. So this could roll over once again, kind of do something like it did back here. So that's why, I mean, yeah, it's good to see. It's a step forward in the right direction, but it's not like a confirmation by no means, because look at this. Look at this. It's getting rejected off of the slow moving average. So, there's still some, bears having their fill in regards to their current trades and price action. So, yeah, I'd stay out of the market at this time. But so far, my theories have been validated in regards to what I expected in price. The biggest development over the weekend is this particular channel. Now, this could actually turn into a bull flag. Let's be real here. So, because it is downward sloping uh, uh, patterns are actually long-term bullish. Because if you think about it, from a psychological standpoint, um, back here there was euphoria, there was like retail, even institutions purchasing crypto assets maybe for like the first time, or maybe they're just getting their feet wet, so to speak. And now we have institutions or traders, now they're taking profits. So that's just naturally bringing the price down. But also there's a lot of short sellers who are like purposely trying to manipulate the price going down. So you kind of think of it as like holding a volleyball underwater. You know what I mean? Like, yeah, you can push it down all the way up, all the way up. I'm sorry, all the way down, all the way down. But eventually, like, it's going to come popping back up, just due to the just how it is, like how physics works. Anyway, that's kind of like what I'm expecting. So that's kind of cool, not gonna lie. So this particular triangle pattern, I gave it very little onus, but it actually did play out in terms of measured move and everything like that. And the measured move did actually complete. Just to recap real quick. So boom, and there you are. Boop. Okay, turn this off. There it is. Drag it down. Boom. And look how close it was to the pro. Oh, there it is. Look how like close that was. And then from a Fibonacci standpoint, it actually measured up perfectly because there's a bounce right here. So yeah, so for the people who don't believe in technical analysis or they just think it's complete BS, like, I mean, come on. Like, you're just ignorant. You know what I mean? Or I'm not saying you're ignorant, but I'm just saying they're ignorant if they think technical analysis doesn't work. It's just very mathematical. It's just so crazy. It's a combination of like emotion, human emotion, or um, just like market sentiment, and it's like a whole combination of that plus mathematics, and it's just trippy to me. Um, if I had to choose technical analysis over like a news event, I would go technical analysis any day of the week. Because whatever happens in the news, they're going to shape it to what is happening on the price, in my opinion. So, if you guys don't necessarily know much regarding technical analysis, like I'm happy to continue on. I'm going to be doing daily videos regarding this stuff. But yeah, anyway, I'm going to close it out for today. I just want to appreciate you if you're still listening. Like, thank you so much. I really appreciate it. Yeah, feel free to like, subscribe, comment, and share with your friends and stuff like that. Yeah, let me know in the comments what you think about my analysis. If you think I'm full of shit, let me know. If you think it's pretty good, hey, let me know. You know what I mean? Also, I do actually want to cover different assets for people. Like, if you guys want to do requests and stuff like that, happy to do so. I'm going to try to be doing some live channels at some point. I just need to figure it out. I'm kind of new to the YouTube space, so I'm going to be testing out certain things here and there. Try to do some lives maybe between like 11 a.m. and like 1 p.m. or something like that that really aligns up with my schedule. But yeah, anywho, I'm gonna close it out. Have a great one, and yeah, peace. Take care. Bye.